Hello viewers, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel Learn English with Hamid. Continuing with our series on tenses, today we do the past perfect tense. Yes, let's start. So you see here we have a sample paragraph and the paragraph is in the past tense. Pause the video, read it. Let me read a few lines to you. I had never seen such a beautiful sunset before I visited Hawaii last year. By the time I arrived at the beach, the sun had already set. Yes, read it. So you see here, the past perfect tense is used in this paragraph, in this sample paragraph. So what do? We use the past simple tense to talk about a past action. For example, I visited Hawaii last year. Now this is the past simple. Now anything which happened before this action, for that we use the past perfect tense. So here I visited Hawaii last year is the past action, and any action before this action should be in the past perfect. For example, I had never seen such a beautiful sunset before. That's the past perfect tense. Another example is I arrived at the beach, past simple tense. Now anything which happened before this action will be in the past simple tense, as you can see. The sun had already set behind the horizon. So that's the general introduction to this tense. Let's look at the structure now. So of course we have the subject, then the auxiliary had, then the past participle form, and then the object. For example, I had seen him. I had talked to them. They had contacted us, for example. And another possibility is we have the past perfect tense plus the simple tense. Both are used together. Both may be used together. In fact, most of the time they're used together. For example, they had eaten lunch before we met them, the past perfect tense. And so you see the past perfect tense and the present simple tense. So the action, which one action happened in the past and any action before that is in the past perfect tense. Positive sentences these are. Now, how do we make the negative? Yes, we just use the word not after the auxiliary, which is had. So they had not eaten lunch, for example, before we met them. And how do we make interrogative sentences? Yes, easy. Just bring the auxiliary to the beginning of the sentence. For example, had they eaten lunch before we met them? Yes, this is how we make interrogative sentences in the past perfect tense. Now let's look at the uses of this tense. Where do we use them? Let me tell you in more detail. We can use the past perfect tense to show the order of two events. The past perfect shows the earlier action and the past simple shows the action which happened later. For example, the patient had died when the doctor arrived. So the doctor arrived, but before the doctor arrived, the patient had already died. So two action happened. Which one happened first and which one later? So the action which happened first is in the past perfect tense and the second one is in the past simple tense. And remember, if we change the order, no problem, the meaning stays the same. When the doctor arrived, the patient had already died. So you see it's the same meaning. Moving on, we can also use before plus past perfect to show that an action was not done or was incomplete when the past action happened. For example, I had finished my homework when my mom came home. Or the train had left before I reached the station. Yes, hope clear? It's clear? We often use adverbs with the past perfect tense, and these verbs are adverbs are already, still, just, ever or never, for example. These adverbs help to provide more information about the action which is happening. So here are a few examples which have these adverbs. For example, I had already eaten the breakfast by the time she woke up. Already. Another is they had still not finished their work when the boss arrived. Another example is he had just left his office or the office when the phone rang. A question sentence is, had you ever been to Paris before you went there last year? Had you ever been? She had never seen such a beautiful sunset. I had never seen such a beautiful sunset before she visited Hawaii, for example. And another example, another usage, we can also use the past perfect tense to express a regret. You wanted to do something, but you couldn't, so you can use the past perfect tense to express that regret that something didn't happen and you wished you could have done that. So we use would or could followed by have. For example, I would have gone to the theater, to the concert, if I had known about it earlier. Another example is, she could have won the race if she had trained more. They would have bought the house if they had enough money. Another example. So all these sentences have an element of regret expressed on the part of the speaker. We can also use wish. We use wish to express a regret or wish about the past. For example, I wish I had studied harder. So I didn't study hard, I failed, for example, and you say, I wish I had studied hard. Or he wishes he had taken the offer last year, the job offer last year. Or they wish they had traveled more when they were younger. Or I wish I had contacted that person, for example. And that's it. I hope you like this video. So if you liked it, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Share this video with your friends and come back for more lessons. See you.